Hi everyone and welcome to Bad Movie Bad Review, where we review the absolute worst movies imaginable, because I can't afford a proper midlife crisis.
Are you having a midlife crisis? Well, don't feel alone. I actually had 2 of them.
But it sure is a fun way to spend whatever spare change I do manage to find. Did I say fun? I think I should maybe apologise for reviewing something that clearly isn't an actual movie, but my original choice for how to spend my evening was by watching Operation Hit Squad. Which, no. Besides, I was under the impression that what I chose instead might land me some easy subscribers by featuring lady boobs. Which I now realise was an even more dreadful idea than watching Operation Hit Squad. But we've already started this shit, so welcome to Virtual Stars! As you may well have guessed, Virtual Stars is a collection of exceptionally short Japanese cry-wank hallucinations featuring hideous-looking, dead-eyed, entirely computer-generated non-humans that you are supposed to find attractive and that for some reason I purchased. But other than feeling largely ashamed after handing over 75 pence to my local DVD-selling spotty-faced CEX enabler, I mostly felt confused as to what on earth a cover that looked like this might contain. I had a fair idea, but it wasn't until I read the synopsis that the Japanesiness of what I had just bought began to sink in and weigh heavily on my primitive and probably disgusting expectations. Let me read it for you so you might get the feel of things. There's nothing virtual about your blood boiling, and watching these Japanese dream girls will definitely push your pulse to its limits. Meet mysterious Miharu, awesome Aya, ruthless Ryoko, mind-blowing Misty, youthful Yukari, and heavenly Hikari in a stunning series of computer-generated femininity. In Supersonic Jet Girl, you'll enter a hellish nightclub where lingerie-clad Miharu defends herself in the most personal fashion. Chat places the longingly lovely Aya on the streets of your dreams. In Run and Run, Yukari breathes hard and races fast. To nowhere. A Jellyfish Day finds the blonde bombshell Hikari starring in a music video about her private passions. Ryoko inhabits Yamag's garage, an arena of pure mind, love, and what the fuck is this? A not-so-gentle dissection of the crazy slurrings that pass for that synopsis reveal a certain language being employed, with words and phrases such as they know no boundaries, pleasure, femininity, and of course Jellyfish Day, suggesting a certain tone to the DVD. And that tone is wanking. Wank. Word forms, third person singular present tense, wanks. Present participle, wanking. Past tense, past participle, wanked. Verb, to wank means to masturbate. British, very rude. Wank is also a noun. Yes, I'm fairly certain that the implied objective of watching Virtual Stars is to shake hands with the oily milkman and generally have a great day. At least that's what the prospective buyers are seemingly led to believe, but by God has everyone been lied to, as despite the best efforts of some lurid Japanese computer modelers from the early 2000s, Virtual Stars is about as alluring as the stuff between the keys on my laptop. But before I found that out for myself, I looked at the cover and tried to apply reason to it for at least an hour before I grew balls big enough to actually play the DVD. And you would have to, as the only rational response to figuring out what this DVD actually does contain is to be terrified that you'll end up on a register somewhere. Which brings me nicely to a very important point that I would like to stress until my temples burst. I do not find computer-animated Japanese big-breasted children to be sexy. No. She doesn't count. Wait, why am I even bothering to explain this? This should be obvious, given how there is not one f***ing thing even remotely captivating about pre-9/11 computer-generated, vaguely human-shaped husks with massive tits. F***ing look at them. They are less uncanny valley and more uncanny Mariana f***ing Trench. Or maybe I'm lying, and I haven't been this tickled in the basement by an animator's wet dream since watching Paula Abdul engage in foreplay with MC Scatcat. I am unsure where in general the lovely ladies of Virtual Stars sit in the overall pantheon of animated fanny that I have at some point considered fapping to.
I guess it's time for you to become a man.
What do you mean?
I will give you something no other sister would ever give you.
Peppa, stop that.
You're a bit stressed. Just let me do my thing.
F*** off Peppa, f*** off Peppa, f*** off Peppa, f*** off Peppa, f*** off.
Well, let me think. Apart from Peppa Pig, there's Cheetara, She-Ra, Smurfette, April O'Neil, and Angelina Jolie. And in that list, the sextuplets of Virtual Stars would appear somewhere outside in the rain. Yes, all bullshit aside, there isn't one of these cyber slags that has been cooked enough to be in any way tasty and delicious. That may simply be due to the limitations of early noughties computer power, but they still went ahead and made the shit anyway, so this is what we got. Apologies, I've gotten ahead of myself. What actually do we have? Well, why don't I introduce you all to the lovely ladies and let's see if we can all get to know each other a bit better. First, we have the mysterious Miharu, who is a demon slayer by day and early evenings, and a failed stripper by night whose customer base has been inadvertently turned into ravenous zombies that she must dance sexily for. And murder until she is alone and without any friends. She is also what happens if you stretch a 12-year-old girl on a medieval rack and then dangle paracetamol just out of her now hideously distended reach. Next we have Awesome Aya, because a certain copywriter's grasp of alliteration stretches only half as far as his prescription for antidepressants. I'm not really sure what the point of looking at her even is, as all she does is run up and down the street like the escaped proverbial that she was most likely modelled after. Her appearance is even more questionable given that she is wearing an always alluring combination of knitted turtleneck jumper, blue tartan skirt and orthopedic shoes. But that's probably a blessing in frumpy disguise, considering the crotchless hazmat suit she was most likely originally wearing. Then we have Misty and her dinky little beep beep sports car. She, just like every other travesty on display, is an utter embarrassment, and the complete opposite of anything I would want to fantasize over. Again, mostly down to her having wiry birth defect limbs, and eyes that belong inside a discarded Teddy Ruxpin. I think she was also an aspiring pop star.
I feel good.
Except now she's dead. Next up is Hickory. Hickory, who has something to do with the aforementioned Jellyfish Day, but I don't know what that is, so instead of worrying about it, let's listen to her singing.
I wonder when it was I acted like a pretty doll.
Yes, it's cringy bullshit by a vapid-looking computer-generated bastard about how no one can make her change her life, and about the value of strength and other Japanese post-World War II self-assertions. It's pretty standard J-teen bullshit, except it's being sung at me in my increasingly lonely-looking box of Kleenex tissues. The rest of the girls aren't much to brag about either. Ryoko walks up and down a corridor for no reason at all, Yukari runs up and down an ethereal plane trying to destroy the fabric of time and space with her boobs, and someone, I think it was Misty, takes a stroll up and down the tunnel from the movie Irreversible and never mind. Or was that Hickory? I'm not even sure anymore. My disgust and confusion also isn't helped by the grim realization that despite the awfulness of everything, there still may have been someone who has masturbated to these things. Which makes no sense, as everyone knows that the main problem with computer-generated ass and boobs is that you can't look at them without picturing the food-stained, heavy-breathing, middle-aged computer animator that created them. Was this really the objective of Virtual Stars creators? To churn out the worst fap material ever made in hope of cornering the sex fetish market for deaf, blind and dead perverts? Well, not exactly, as the entire DVD appears instead to simply be a collection of showreel clips for sexually frustrated computer animators to exchange with each other. Which is a bit surprising, given the production company Escapee Media BV once released DVDs about a tropical aquarium, something called Goldie the Fish, and 60 minutes of a lava lamp. All three of which I would be more likely to finish myself off to than by watching Yukari's pitch video for disability benefit. I find their company tagline says it all. Escapee, the edge of entertainment. So close to the edge it would seem that they fell into the dank and murky waters of insolvency and 404 oblivion. Shame too, given that on the inside of the cover they invite comments or questions. Of which I have many. Send. There is a strong possibility, should any of you watch Virtual Stars for yourselves, that you may decide to insert your genitalia into whichever orifice your DVD player or PC case will accommodate. But this will simply be to make it stop by causing an electrical fire, which I would still recommend. Just don't skip the foreplay. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from Bad Movie Bad Review, then please like and subscribe. You can also visit badmovie-badreview.com and sign up to the newsletter for regular updates. Details can be found in the description.